What's going on, garden nerds? Welcome to another video where we are going to talk about weeds. Yes, my views on weeds, my thoughts on weeds, and then also how I get rid of weeds that I don't want. So first, let's talk about weeds in general. I am one of those people that doesn't think weeds are that big of a deal. In fact, in many cases, I actually like weeds. I talk all the time. In fact, the last video was about improving the soil to improve the health of our trees and plants. How do we improve the soil? Well, we put things in the ground like plants that pull carbon out of the air and put it into the ground. As more carbon and organic material goes into the ground, the healthier our soil is. So, my thought on weeds, if you have weeds in a place deep in the corner of your backyard or in a place that you don't really care how well it looks, really anywhere in my backyard, I let the weeds grow because it's not hurting anybody, it's in the corner, it's not an eyesore, and it's only helping the soil. So that's the first thing. I am not looking to just get rid of any and every weed that I see. In many cases, I think they're more beneficial than not. The second thing about weeds, and this goes into improving the soil, is I do not like to use synthetic or unnatural ways to kill weeds. I don't want to put chemicals into the ground. Chemicals in the ground means bad soil. Chemicals in the ground means we are killing the life in the soil. No life in the soil, no healthy trees. So I don't like to use Roundup or anything like that, no matter how safe they say it is, no matter how they tell me it doesn't affect the ground and the soil. I don't believe it, I don't like it. So I try to use natural ways to get rid of weeds when I don't want them, which is not very often. However, where I don't like them is in my lawn. And I don't like a specific weed called spurge. I despise spurge. However, I found a pretty easy and effective way to get rid of weeds. And it's a fun way to get rid of weeds. This is my propane torch, check it out. My propane torch. Yes, I love my propane torch. I love to burn weeds. Now, why do I like to burn weeds? Well, like I said, I don't have to use any chemicals, but also I don't like to pull weeds out of the ground, because when we pull weeds out of the ground and their roots out of the ground, we're getting that carbon that the weeds work so hard and all the other plants work so hard to put into the soil. Well, now we're ripping that right back out, putting it back into the air out of the soil, which is not good. Also, burning weeds is extremely fast, effective, and does not cost that much money. I'm gonna show you here in a minute, but all you have to do when you're burning weeds, especially spurge in your grass lawn, is turn on the torch and just barely hover over it. You don't have to sit there and burn it. You don't have to make sure smoke is coming up. You just hover the flame right over the weed for half a second. You come out the next day and the weed is gone. Also, with spurge and other weeds, if you're pulling them, you release a lot of their seeds. Weeds have tons of seeds. That's how they're weeds. That's how they spread. But if you burn them, you effectively kill the seeds. Immediately on the spot, they fall to the ground, but they're dead. They're not going to germinate. So for all of those reasons, I love to use my propane torch. You can pick one of these up, I think for like 20 bucks at Home Depot or a big box store. These propane tanks don't cost a lot of money, and they last you quite a while. So I'm gonna show you how I burn some spurge. All right, so here is the spurge you can see there, and here's the torch, the flame, it's going. And I'm gonna show you, all I do is come down here, give it a quick run over all of them. There's tons of seeds in this spurge. And when I go over it like this, instantly kills those seeds. You can see the weed kind of like shrivels up. And it's not even a day. When I come out here later tonight, it will be gone. And the cool thing is, it doesn't necessarily affect the grass, the lawn. Unless you hover over it for a long time, it's not gonna hurt the Bermuda. If you stay on it too long, it will hurt the Bermuda. But if you're nice and fast, you're gonna be good. So that's all it is. It's easy, it's fun. Just don't get carried away and start burning other things. I've burned down a few things in my yard. So don't be dumb. But as long as you're not dumb, it's fast, easy, efficient, effective.